Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Jam Sessions. I'm your host Mel, and let's get to jamming. So before we get into any of the music, I would just like to give a discretion that all of the music discussed in this week's podcast and all of the other podcasts are not owned by me. They are owned by the artist and the musician that I discuss. So if you look down below, you will find the name of the artist and the name of the song in which you can go on to your own streaming options, whether that's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, whatever you use, and you can find that music through there. Also, tomorrow is Mother's Day in Canada, so I would like to wish all of the mothers in Canada, whether you're new, old mothers, grandmothers, mothers-to-be, whatever the case may be, if you celebrate Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful day. So the first artist I want to talk about is Jessica Mitchell, and she released an album called Heart of Glass. So this is my first time hearing Jessica Mitchell, and you're not sure who she is. She's a Canadian country artist referred to actually as country's Adele, which I think is a very accurate comparison. And the one thing that I really liked about Jessica Mitchell is that you can really feel her raw emotions and struggles that she goes through in each song. And that's kind of what you see in the album as well. And I think my favorite thing about this album as a woman is that I can relate to every song in some way. And I think that's a major thing when it comes to music, is that we find these artists that we really like. And the reason that we really like these artists is because we're like, wow, their songs either really relate to us or we really find them interesting and we want to dance to them, or we like the style they use. But I think a lot of times it comes to, okay, the themes that they talk about in their music I can relate to, or I feel like I can connect with. And I think she does this in a very fantastic way on this album. And my favorite song on this album is called Don't Love Me. Now, I liked all of the songs on here, so it was a really hard choice to come up with a song that I liked off the album, but this one kind of stuck out to me a little bit. And one thing about the way that I interpret this song is kind of like, you like someone, but you don't want to be put in that vulnerable place. Like, your guards are up, and it's kind of like, don't put me in that place. I know what it's like when it comes down, and what the struggle of when it doesn't work out. So don't even put me there in the first place. So here's a little bit of a tidbit of Don't Love Me.
I see your face across a crowded room. Suddenly it's tough to breathe. You say hello and you buy my favorite drink. Sure, you've got things to say to me, but honestly, please don't hold my hand, don't give me a chance. I don't need to be let down again. Don't you talk all sweet, don't know how much better off I'll be. So don't love me.
So that's Jessica Mitchell's song Don't Love Me from her new album Heart of Glass. If you like that song, or I definitely recommend checking her out. Also, she is going on tour later this year, so if you want to check her out, or if you know her other music and you're super excited to see if she's coming to a city near you, definitely go on her website and you'll find the tour dates there. The second artist that I wanted to talk about is Chromeo. So Chromeo released a song called Bad Decision. So if you're not sure who Chromeo is a Canadian electro-funk duo from Montreal, Canada. They have such amazing songs such as Jealous and Hot Mess, which you may have heard previously. And every song I've heard from Chromeo makes me just want to move. I know they're electro-funk, and that's kind of in the, people assume electro-funk means dancing, and this band definitely does that. So the reason I really like this song, Bad Decision, is kind of like you're so into someone that you would do anything for them, even if it's a bad decision. And the one thing I really liked about this song too, and it kind of stuck out to me, the first thing when I heard the chorus and stuff was kind of, I got a Prince vibe. If you know Prince, rest in peace, Prince, he is a legend. And one of his songs that he has is called Kiss. And with this song, Bad Decision, I get a Kiss vibe from it, especially in the chorus. And I'll show you a little bit tidbit here now. And you can definitely let me know on Instagram or Twitter if you think that you get that Kiss vibe as well. And if you don't know, my Instagram is at JamSessions18, and my Twitter is at JamSessions_18. But here's a little bit of a tidbit of Bad Decision. So that's Bad Decision by Chromeo. I definitely recommend listening to that song as well as listening to all of their other music. Again, if you think that you get that Kiss vibe from the song as well, definitely let me know on Twitter, Instagram, or even on my website. So the third one I wanted to talk about this week is a band that I've already discussed in this podcast, and they just released a new song, and I'm talking about Honors. So if you're not sure who Honors is a Canadian group who used to be made up, who used to make up the group, called Down with Webster. Such fantastic people. They are probably the nicest, most fantastic people I've ever met in my life that are musicians. This is my first time hearing the girl that's on the song called Molly Kate Kestner. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. And her voice with Pat's voice is fabulous. It's so fantastic. Their two voices together. And one thing I really like about Honors, and I think I may have mentioned this earlier when I talked about their previous song, is that their vibe is so unique. If you've listened to Down with Webster in the past, they're this party dance kind of rap group, and now with Honors, they have a totally different sound to them, and I think it is wonderful. I love both Down with Webster and Honors. And this song is just another one that's super fantastic. So what I like about this song the most is, like I said, their voices sound wonderful together. And the way that I interpreted this song was that it's kind of like, my sense is that it's more of like a bad breakup. And it's kind of like, okay, don't tell me that it's not meant to be. Don't tell me we're not supposed to be together. Let's just get back together. Let's make it right. Let's get back together. So this song is called On Again. I don't think I had mentioned that. So the song is called On Again by Honors, featuring Molly Kate Kestner. And here's a tidbit of that song.
Don't tell me that you're not right for me. Oh, don't tell me that I'm not right for you. Oh no, don't tell me that you're not right for me. No, don't tell me that I'm not right for you. Oh, don't tell me it's a long shot, say it's worth the fight. We could be the real thing, we could make it right. Don't tell me that I'm not right for you.
Again, that's On Again by Honors featuring Molly Kate Kestner. I definitely recommend listening to Honors music as well as Molly's music and even Down with Webster's old stuff. Definitely recommend that. And the next song I want to talk about is Younger by A Great Big World. So if you're not sure who A Great Big World is, they are a pop rock duo. Known most popular song is Say Something with Christina Aguilera. Now, the one thing that I found super cool is that Say Something was very slow, very powerful, and this song is very fun, upbeat, and very relatable. So the song is talking, the way I interpret it is reflecting on the good old days, when you're young and you really have no responsibilities and you're carefree, and it's just, I wish I could be young again. I wish I could go back to that place, that time of my life. And my favorite lyric is actually, I remember third grade, shades, new rollerblades, 4'2", feeling 10'8". When I heard that lyric, I was like, wow, that's so relatable. You're super small, you're a kid, but you feel like you're on top of the world and you feel like there's nothing that can tear you down. And that's, it's true. I feel like, and maybe not for everybody, but I was that way, going to school back in like elementary school and high school, and you were like, I don't care about anything. I'm carefree. I just want to do what I want to do and have fun. And that's definitely what the song talks about reflecting on. So here's a little bit of a snippet of that.
I remember third grade, new rollerblades, 4'2", feeling 10'8", classic Mario. I remember charades, my first date, working at the pool, barely ever getting paid. Remember those days? I wish I was younger, getting high with my friends outside in the summer. Never cool, never had a lot of money, but damn, we had it all. We had it all. I wish I was younger.
So that's Younger by A Great Big World. Definitely go check out that song as well as the other stuff. So the last one I wanted to talk about is called If You're Over Me by a band called Years and Years. So this is my first time hearing Years and Years, which is a group, as well as obviously the song that was released yesterday. So if you're not sure who Years and Years is, they're a British synth pop band founded in London, United Kingdom. And they were founded back in 2010 and will be releasing a new album in July. If you go onto their website, you can find it and pre-order it now. So the song, If You're Over Me, the way that I look about it and the way I interpret it is kind of like battling that off and on relationship and the mentality that comes with it. So like one day you want to be a thing, the next day you want nothing from me. And it's like, if you're over me, let's figure it out. So when I think of that, maybe it was an ex, and sometimes you want to stay friends and you want to kind of still do things with your ex without being in that relationship. And they're kind of saying, because of this whole mentality of one day you want me, one day you don't. If you're over me, just let me go. Like, let's just end things if you're over me. And that's a really relatable song, I think, as well. I think, a lot of people in today's society kind of don't want that commitment, but they do want that sense of relationship, if that even makes sense. I don't even really understand it, but it's a thing. If that's what you want to do, you do you. Not everybody's about it, but some people really are. So that's, I think that song is relatable for people in those kind of situations, and maybe even if they're not. I think it's still a really good song. I'm not really able to relate to that too much about the whole mentality of that on and off relationship, but I still think it's a really great song. I think they're very talented, so definitely go check out their other music. And again, they are releasing a new album in July. So here's a tidbit of If You're Over Me.
You tell everyone our love went cold. Going around spreading the word it's over. If that's how you feel, then you should go. Saying I still want you. One minute you say we're a team, then you're telling me you can't breathe. Well, you should set me free, baby, if you're over me. Yesterday you said I'm the one, but now you say you're done. Stop telling me what I need, baby, if you're over me. There you go.
So that's If You're Over Me by Years and Years, and that wraps up this week's podcast. There's so much great music out there. I definitely recommend checking out all of the new releases. They have new music by Arctic Monkeys. They have new music. Again, last week I discussed Charlie Puth's 2 new songs from an album called Voice Notes, and that Voice Notes album was out yesterday. So if you like that song, if you like Charlie Puth, definitely go listen to his album Voice Notes. It's really good. I wanted to include it in the podcast, but I also kind of wanted to give a little bit of a diversity since I just talked about Charlie Puth last week. So if you like Charlie Puth, definitely go check out that album. He has features with Kalani, with Boys to Men, there's so many good. James Arthur, I think, is on there. Definitely go check out his album. But again, there's so many good artists that have released songs, so go check out the new releases if you get the chance. Also, linked to my website, if you go on there, you can find a Spotify link, which takes you to a playlist. I update this playlist every week with my favorite new releases and favorite songs. So if you like some of the songs that are discussed in the podcast, or you just want to kind of figure out what other songs that I like, definitely go to that playlist, and they'll all be there for you. Also, if you have any similarities, or if you have any questions, recommendations, definitely tweet me at JamSessions_18. I have Instagram at JamSessions18, and my website, of course, which has all of the social media if you use those different, like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. And speaking of YouTube, I do upload my podcasts now on YouTube, so if that's an easier way for you to stream them than SoundCloud or the website, you can definitely check them out there at YouTube. Thank you guys so much for listening to my podcast. I truly appreciate all the support. Again, happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers that celebrated in Canada tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And even if you're not a mother, I hope you still have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, and keep jamming. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.